Well, first of all, I'd like to wish you a happy new year. I'm really, really tired right now, so I might sound kind of depressed. But I come across your video response about Asian guys does not like black girls, or something like that, or afraid to approach black girls. Um, I kind of want to put in my 2 cents about this issue. Yes, Asian guys are typically shy. Um, that's not your problem, or um, that's some issue that a Asian guy really had to deal with themselves. It's something that we as Asian guy being programmed by the television, by the movies, and by our own 5,000 years. That depends what country you're from. 5,000 years culture, by our parents, by peer pressure of our culture. That, I mean, if you look at our culture, it's arranged marriage, back then, and a guy really does not have to learn a skill to approach a girl because your parents basically made the decision for you. I mean, even, I mean, even with nowadays, I don't think that exists anymore, but in some area it still does exist. But it's not exist because there's law that your parents have to arrange the marriage for you, but in the sense of you had to deal with the family peer pressure stuff that, like, for example, my parents would not like me to marry outside of my own race just because, I think just because they're limited beliefs, and from what I heard about the other culture, like in my culture, in Asian culture, we don't believe in divorce. If somebody divorces, it's like bring shame to the family. But in American culture, in like Caucasians and Americans, in general talking, and divorce is acceptable. It's like, if you're not happy together, then you shouldn't be happy together. So let's get separated. And I think most, so there's like culture differences there, and I think it is for an Asian guy individually look into their belief system, into what they're being taught, to decide to stay with the Asian culture or kind of come out with it. It really, at this time of age, I don't think that people should choose their partners or the loved ones based on the skin color. It should really based on whether they really get along, if they have same kind of interest, if they have same kind of passion, if they're really compatible, because a relationship, you got attraction first, but then the rest is really work, especially if you really want to get settled down and get married, it's like a partner for life. That's some serious stuff. It's not something that you take very lightheaded about it, it and I guess what I'm trying to say is the reason that Asian guys are shy is because they never really have to have the skill to go out there and talk to a girl. Yeah, until recently, that whole fairly recently actually, the whole culture of our parents arranging marriage is being totally get rid of, and now it's like all of a sudden, hey, what am I supposed to do? It's like your dad was arranged to be married by their parents. Their parents was arranged by married by their parents. Now you never really teach your kid how to socialize with the opposite sex. It's like they emphasize on truly on education. That's why most Asian guys are very successful as far as career-wise, or most Asian guys earn very high income because they're very intelligent. But intelligence can only get you so far. We also very, very hard, and that's kind of what we kind of born into as a culture. So what I'm trying to say is that you really have to understand that it has a lot to do with the culture, the peer pressure, and all that crazy stuff. And when we watch televisions, when we watch movies, we watch music, we have been programmed in our brain that a black person, African American person, you have an image of you robbing a store, especially those movies about a black guy go to the Korean grocery store and rob them and kill them. Those they just don't leave a great image in Asian people's mind. I'm just talking in general. I'm not talking specific here. But in my personal belief, like I say, I don't think you really should choose people based on the skin color, period. So, kind of to help you to understand why we kind of scared to approach a black girl is because we think you might have a black guy as your boyfriend or something is gonna kick our ass or shoot us, or that in some kind of ways that we're scared of you, or you're scared of you because of your skin color, which I don't think that's right. And because most black girl I talk to who's attracted to me, they are very, very, very sweet, and if you study African American culture and Asian culture, we do have a lot in common. That, for example, that we tend to stick together as family, and we emphasize on family value. Asian person will have large families from 3 generations. I usually live together, and then if don't live together, they're pretty close together. And it's the same as African American culture. And I don't know if this really helped you to understand it or not, but I think I give you kind of an Asian perspective, what is exactly going to mind. Maybe that will help you to understand Asian guys better, and also help the Asian guy to really came out of the show and just be who you are and be proud who you are. And if you like African American girl, go after it, and then talk to her like regular girl, like your friend, like your regular Asian friends. I mean, don't judge people based on their skin color. And don't generalize people. Don't put the people into categories. Okay? And don't date outside of your race because you hate your own skin color. You have to love yourself first. And if you date outside of your color, that's because there's attraction there. For some reason, it's compatibility there. There's something there, But you shouldn't just choose someone based on the skin color or because you hate your own race. Period. So, anyway, this is Han, and thanks for watching, and hopefully that kind of helped you a little. Thanks.